Trey, obviously this is a very difficult game for you guys. What were some of the factors involved in that?
Yeah. They're a very good team. They came at us in some spurts, and they really like to slow down the game and grind it out. Clearly, we know we can adapt anyway, but clearly like to get it out, transition, and keep it up tempo. And for the most part, we really miss a lot of shots we're used to making. Like I said, I mean, for three, first of all, we went 3 of 20. So, I mean, usually we expect a little more made shots there. We missed some easy ones at the rim, but I mean, like I said, they really try to grind it out and slow it down. So it was a little different for us, but we figured it out.
Tyler,
No, go ahead, dude.
is that a big takeaway, kind of using what Trey's word to adapt? That maybe you guys would prefer this to be in the 80s or 70s, but to have a grinder like this, is that kind of maybe showing the adaptability?
Yeah. It's good to have this game early on. It's really gonna help us in the future. But this team just does that to us. The 3 times we played them last year, all 3 times were pretty low scoring. I mean, in regulation and some like tournament, it was pretty low scoring. And so, they're a really good defensive team, and Gil Beck on the inside can really block shots and things like that. So, in the end, it's just something we're gonna have to take away, and we're just gonna have to continue to move the ball and just share it. And I know we'll get our rhythm going on.
Nick, you guys had a lot of success on the glass tonight, but particularly in the first half, you and Trey had 8.6 rebounds apiece at halftime. So why were you able to control the rebounding battle the way you were tonight?
I think their big guy would come over to try to block a lot of shots, and they usually try to block shots. So it gave us opportunities on the weak side. I think we got a couple tip-ins, easy ones on the weak side, just staying aggressive on the glass. And coach always preaches that, just stay strong on the glass. And I think we did it, and it showed in the first half, and it really gave us a boost.
Was there some realization in the second half that this is just the kind of game this is going to be, and if you're going to win it, it was going to be a difficult game to win as far as your offense was concerned, that you were just going to have to overcome some shortcomings tonight?
Well, yeah, coach said it right in the beginning. I mean, the 3 games, like these guys said last year, I mean, they're a hard-nosed team. I mean, block a lot of shots. It's hard to get to the rim, and we knew the whole time it was going to come down, and they were gonna bring it to us too, and we just stuck it out, played tough D, and our defense was great tonight. I thought, holding them to low 30s. So I think that's something that we really held their hat on tonight.
Trey, is that something in a game like this where the offense is struggling and frustrating, but on the other hand, I mean, defensively, I mean, there's not a whole lot you could have done better, it didn't seem.
Yeah. Like I've been saying all season, defense has been our calling card. So we know what we're going to get out of ourselves defensively. I mean, we didn't really help ourselves out either offensively. Like, especially me, I missed a lot of free throws, especially in the first half. So, I mean, we left some points out there, but it's something we learned from. And even though it was a slow-paced game, we know that we're always going to be consistent on the defensive end.
Does that give you confidence knowing, too, that you can win a game this way or the way that you prefer?
It always feels good to know that even though you don't play the way that you're capable of, that you can still get a win. Like I said, just hang your hat on defense. So.
Nick, how about for you, coming off the bench and kind of giving this team this spurt that you have in 15 minutes tonight, to do what you did in that amount of time? What's your mindset coming in?
Like Coach, he just being aggressive, trying to get on the glass. I mean, try to get those offensive rebounds and try to get to the line, and which I mean, 3 for 6 from free throw line. He'd be better than that. But Coach always just stays on me, be aggressive, and just play your game, and that's what I just kind of try to come in and just stay aggressive and hopefully make good things happen.
Should you be playing more? It was cute.
Tyler, obviously another big one Saturday. You guys wrap up the 3-game homestand, start league play against North Dakota State, and this is the one team that's beaten you in this building. Does that add any motivation for Saturday?
I want to say every game we take the same mentality, but we definitely felt they are going to be able to feel this one in practice and things like that. going into it, and that's what Coach that was the last thing Coach said to us is, you know, we remember what they did to us last year in this room, and we just know we have to come out and just play really good basketball to be able to continue our home win streak and things like that. So
I know you guys never watch film ahead of time, but the Bison are what the Bison are, so that's not going to change much. It's a lot of the same personnel, you know, a few new faces, but they're going to do their thing. And so how do you make sure that you hold up your end?
yeah, like all season, we're really gonna focus on defense. You know, defense travels, but for us right now, we're gonna keep focusing on defense. But yeah, when they come in, they play a lot, kind of like Western Illinois. You know, it's longer possessions, things like that. But we're ready to grind out possessions and hold them to what we can, and just continue to play really good defense. And I know at some point our offense will come around.
Trey, your thoughts on that first question about remembering that, you know, as much success as you've had in this building, it has to be frustrating to know that this of all teams is the one that got you.
Yeah. I mean, like Hag said, you know, we try to keep the same mentality for every game, preparing and stuff. But clearly we remember what they did here. It was, like you said, it was our only loss here at home, and it's still been that way. It's our only loss here. So we know we definitely owe them one, and, you know, it's just what we need to do just to keep it going on where we trying to go in the league, and that's the top. So.
Well, first of all, it was credit Western Illinois. I thought they played really well, in particular on the defensive end. Well, and we played really well on the defensive end, and you know, it was that the first half both teams missed a lot of open shots. I thought we really attacked well and got great looks. We just couldn't buy a basket. I mean, rhythm threes, drove hard to the rim. Give Gilbeck credit. Like, that guy is one heck of a defensive player, and he alters a lot of shots. We did on the offensive end do a phenomenal job on the offensive boards. We had 14 offensive boards in the first half, and a lot of that is when you drive and you have a shot blocker coming over, it opens up a lot of offensive rebounding lanes on the weak side. And Hurst in particular and Trey Birch-Manning and Hagedorn to some extent did a really good job from that respect, but hit a big three to kind of salvage some momentum and go up 13 at halftime, but maybe a little bit of false sense of security from that respect. We really, but we defended very, very well. And then we got fouled, and so but we've been a really good free throw shooting team this year, right? And so, but we go 6 for 14, and that stuff can be contagious at times. So felt like we should have been up by maybe 20, maybe a little bit more at half. We really emphasized the first 5 minutes coming out, which we always do, but especially tonight. And then what do? We turn it over 3 of our first 4 possessions, just mindless basketball, no purpose to what we're doing. And we've done that a few times this year to start second halves for whatever reason. And then they found some hope, but at the end of the day, our defense really, really carried us. Anytime in Division I basketball, I don't care if you're a Big Ten team, if you're a SEC team, a ACC team, a Summit League team, defense travels. And to be able to hold a team at 32.7% for the game, you know, you're really doing something right. And then they shot 16 free throws, which was 2 above their average. But and then we only had 10 turnovers on the night. So you eliminate losing. You like to make a few more shots. But when you play Western, man, that's kind of how it goes, at least when we're playing them. Last year was 62-55 at home, and this year it's 62-50. So with that, any questions?
The start of the second half there, offensively, it just seemed like you're never going to score another point.
That's what it felt like, ever.
I mean, what do you tell your guys when it's going?
Well, we got to play smarter. You know, I should have helped them more. The first half, we were running a lot more sets as a whole, which, you know, so we give, like we've well documented, right? With more freedom is more responsibility, and we give our guys a lot of freedom to go make some plays. And, you know, we go 3 for 20 from the 3. Well, you make 3 or 4 of those, and it looks a lot different. We had some bad shots in there, but not like a ton of them. I mean, we had good looks, I felt like. Could we gotten better at times? Without a question, especially when they were kind of making their run. But I could have helped our guys more with calling more sets, maybe around a continuity. We did that in the first half, and we got pretty good stuff. You know, so Then I got a little stubborn. Like, you guys know how to play the right way. Why aren't we playing the right way? You know, instead of not swinging the ball, getting ball reversals, not sharing the ball. I felt like it was more my turn offense. Once we started kind of running a few sets, I thought we settled in a little bit. But I mean, it just kind of felt like it was one of those nights where, like, gosh, are we ever going to make a shot? Now, to our guys' credit, down the stretch, I thought we really executed some things out of a timeout. Got an easy layup. Got fouled on a three. I think that was out of the media timeout right after we got the backdoor layup, and Mooney made all 3 free throws, and we go 15 for 17 from the line for 88% in the second half, and obviously that was big. Thought our bench played well as a whole. Outscored their bench 18-4. Tyler Peterson, I thought, played really good. Even though he was 1 for 4, I thought he did some great things. He just was in foul trouble. He had 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the first half. We played it out. Then he got his 4th foul at maybe the 10-minute mark, 11-minute mark, whatever, on that box out. I thought Brandon Armstrong had a really good game. Played 19 minutes, and even though he has 6 points, 4 rebounds, I thought he defended well. Had a huge and one. I think that had the lead down to 4 at that point, but that brought it back up to 7. And then Nick Fuller was really good. When Nick was on the floor in the first half, we outscored him by 10. So maybe he needs to be on the floor more in the second half.
Seriously though, like, this is becoming a regular thing with him. Like, I mean, it feels like he plays a lot more because he accomplishes so much with the minutes that he has. And so, is that something that you're wrestling with? Is just how to get?
Yeah, we need to find a way.
The same spot as Trey, and Trey's playing well.
Well, yeah, in a lot of the non-conference, we've been playing Nick at the 4 and the 5, and we've had 2 monsters, probably the 2 biggest centers in the league the first 2 games, right? Daniel Amigo, who scored 17, 8 for 12 from the field, and obviously Gilbeck. So first half, they sat Gilbeck when he got his 2nd foul, and Fuller played a lot, and that's when we stretched it out. Nick's good, just great feel, knows how to play. But we put him too we put him in some tough spots defensively. When you're guarding a guy like that, we can bring doubles when it's just a throw it into the post kind of thing. But they were running a high pick and roll and hitting the big fella, and you can just throw some zip passes because you're not passing over any big guys, if that makes sense. So I got to find a way to get him on the floor more because he's good and he produces at a high level.
Tristan Simpson, no turnovers. Obviously, like everyone else, he struggled with the shooting. But
What do you mean? Trey Birch Manning was 3 for 4. Yeah, Tristan's a winner. Tristan commands the show. He's got great presence to him, makes very good decisions, and you play him third. He didn't come out the second half. He's an excellent defensive player, and he's goes 2 for 9. Obviously, he's a better shooter than that. 0 for 4 from the 3. Thought he kind of maybe took one bad one, but I mean, wide open 3, right? I mean, those are shots we feel good about, and if those things go in, it's a different deal. But he's just a tough kid. He comes in, every time we're in a timeout, and he's just staring you in the eye, like he's ready. He's just always locked in. You just never doubt, his competitive spirit and being ready to play.
Saturday now, it sounds like the guys were reminded or clearly remembered that the Bison came in here last year and won. Is that something you mentioned to them, or did you not even have to? They seemed like they knew it.
Oh, our guys have a pretty good memory. We all do in certain circumstances, right? But they're a good team. I mean, Joe just told me that they, 87-80. They have 2 mainstays in that lineup, and Paul Miller and A.J. Jacobson. Those guys have basically started every game. I might be off a little bit, but they've basically started every game in their 4-year career, and they have good tradition, and they've been in big games. And those guys, Miller, well, they're both catalyst kind of guys, and then they have some other weapons in terms of the Ward kid can really get it going. The lefty, he's a sophomore now, and I always forget. They have what's that kid's name? Number 22 can really get it going as well, and he's a redshirt freshman, and so they have really good guard play. They always defend well, And you got to be on point with what you're doing. They're running some different things this year. They shoot the three well this year, a lot better than they have, I would say, traditionally. And so it's going to be a heck of a basketball game on Saturday afternoon.
Is that conversation that you've had, though? I mean, the fact that you've got one loss in this building, it's against this team. And coaches like to overlook the whole motivation or extra motivation thing, but.
Well, this team has been really good about showing up ready to play every night. We haven't had that conversation just from the standpoint. At the end of every game, we always, we wrap up this game without going overboard because we'll get a lot of that tomorrow in film, and then we just give a brief snippet on the next opponent, just to kind of get their minds right. So tomorrow when they wake up at whatever time they wake up at Christmas break, that should be the first thing on their mind. What do we got to do to beat North Dakota State?